You can't be, sitting and giving important interviews to people and have them ask you, oh, you said you have a crush on Koffee Karan. Like, I said that on Coffee with Karan to Karan Johar. Like, you know the kind of things people say on that show? Like, my father said, if you have money, you can keep her. I don't think he meant that. Do I want to be at the airport and like have somebody push me? Probably not. Do I want to be at the airport and have nobody even look at me? I don't think so. Not that I have the guts to go to a guy and say, F you asshole. Like, I'm a little meeker than that.
You're not that.
I'm not that. I'm really not that. You can't be, sitting and giving important interviews to people and have them ask you, oh, you said you have a crush on Kartik Karan. Like, I said that on Coffee with Karan to Karan Johar. Like, you know the kind of things people say on that show? Like, my father said, if you have money, you can keep her. I don't think he meant that. Like, please, come on. I don't think he wants to sell me to anybody that has money. I really, really hope that's not the case. I know that's not the case. He's not selling me to the rich people of India. I promise you that's not about to happen, So I think that sometimes you just say things and I'm honestly not even apologetic about it. I don't even mind being quoted, misquoted. I think it's all part and parcel of the game.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think that one thing that I've realized is that people don't always understand the intention behind what I'm saying. I'm a humorous kind of person. A lot of things I say are usually just in humor, and I wish that people would just understand that. And there are days that it's taxing. There are days that it's exhausting. There are days that you have to wake up at 5 a.m. because I have this thing where I have to work out on the treadmill before I do anything, whether it's an interview or a song shoot. Song shoot, obviously, but interviews also. I think I wake up puffy. So it's this thing that after 1 hour of like sweating it out, I feel like I'm looking thinner. I promise you, this is true. And it really
every
is.
Morning,
every
you're just
morning,
I'm
just sweating it out, and then I feel better. So yeah, there, silly things like that, or bigger things, like trolling, or being conscious about the media scrutiny or whatever it is. But I would not want to have it any other way. And even if there is excessive media scrutiny, or there are people kind of invasive a little bit, or here, there, and everywhere, I always ask myself, would I be okay with the reverse? Imagine that, okay, I'm puffy and I have a pimple on my face and I don't want to be photographed outside the gym. And I leave the gym and suddenly there's nobody standing there. Am I okay with that, really? Do I want to be at the airport and like have somebody push me? Probably not. Do I want to be at the airport and have nobody even look at me? I don't think so. So you have to, understand that most things that seem like they're a burden are actually a privilege. I hate having time off. I think that the most exciting thing for me, and I'm saying this now having done 2 films, but I think the most exciting thing for me is that you forget who you are, between action and cut, and you attempt, or at least try to attempt, to do justice to somebody else's life and somebody else's story and somebody else's character, and that becomes you. And by doing that, I think that this profession allows us to live so many different lives and so many different experiences that we wouldn't have on our own, which is why we, make films. We do things that are not necessarily real and not necessarily common. And I think that whether it's Simba or whether it's Kedarnath, acting has enabled me to feel and do things that I don't feel or do on a daily basis. I think that women today are in general just very different, to what they were like 11 years ago when the first Love Aajkal came out, or any time before that.
Yeah.
I think that they've become so much more vocal about their needs, and those needs have also evolved so much over time. Whatever it is, whether it's financial independence, whether it's physical intimacy, whether it's emotional volatility, I think women are more openly embracing what it is that they want. And because maybe it's more acceptable to talk about it, I think that they're doing that more. I can't imagine going up to a guy and saying, you refuse to sleep with me, and now you're following me. It's like, I don't have the guts to do that. Not that I have the guts to go to a guy and say, F you asshole. Like, I'm a little meeker than that.
You're not that.
I'm not that. I'm really not that. I also don't say, tum mujhe tang karne loge ho very often. I realize that while people appreciate the fact that I don't have a filter, they don't know me well enough to understand why I'm saying what I'm saying. What you say on Coffee with Karan is not a proposition, nor is it a confession, nor is it the gospel truth. It's something that you say in fun and games,
Sure.
and it should be taken that way.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to realize that you have to I can't have a filter because that's just not me. But I think that you have to be aware of the way people might perceive what it is that you're saying, Firstly, that. Secondly, I think that when comments that you say just randomly because you have no filter kind of override what it is that you're trying to talk about, then I think that it's better not to talk about it. World that I am so eagerly waiting to get into and hoping to, make my mark in. This world is a world where it is of extreme importance to have a sound understanding of who you are, because you can forget. You can be made to forget. And I think that that's what going to Columbia allowed me to do. Understand who I am without any other adjective or any other epithet attached to me, rather than just Sara, who she is. Because the adjectives and associations attached to me are all very powerful.
Yeah.
And will continue to be. Not just Amrita Singh and Saif Ali Khan. Now Abhishek Kapoor, Rohit Shetty, everybody is powerful. So who are you? You need to know that.